Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make this quick video just because I've collected a ton of different data on what actually makes people consistent. And so if you actually follow all of the different habits in here to help you become more consistent, it actually adds up to having a total of 17 times more consistency rate. Obviously, they probably don't all stack like that. So enough blabbering, let's get into the video. So basically, the first tactic is to apply habit stacking. And so basically, habit stacking is when you have a pre-existing habit and you do something right after it. This helps your mind clarify and make neural connections. Basically, habits are literally just neural connections. That's all that they are. Basically, it just starts associating I do X, then I do Y, and having that connection being brought harder and harder helps you to be more consistent. For example, right after I brush my teeth, I do 10 push-ups for some reason. That actually increases your habit success rate by 2 times, which is pretty crazy, honestly. Just a 2 times increment is incredible. So the next step would be to do implementation intentions. So this is related to habit stacking. It's basically the same thing, just with a slight twist if the thing you're trying to learn is slightly different. Basically, it says, if I walk through my bedroom door, I'll do 10 pull-ups if I have like a pull-up bar there or something like that. So basically the same thing, just for different situations. That will increase it by 91%. So super helpful again. Next thing is environmental design. So basically, this one is, I think this one's super underrated. So basically, this is just making things that you want to do easier and making things that you don't want to do harder. So this one is, will increase your consistency by 40%. And so basically, it just means anything that detracts you from getting on your schedule, just getting rid of it. For example, if you want to start doing exercising or something like that, just putting your exercise bag by the front door, something like that, just making it as easy as possible to break your mind and force it to not say no, reducing as much friction as possible. It's incredibly helpful, especially with AI. If you have a habit that you can use AI to help you do it, removing friction is the number one thing to do. Another thing, the next thing is to actually track and measure what you're trying to do. So this one will increase your productivity, or not productivity, but habit formation by 2 times. These are huge numbers. It doesn't sound like much just to say 2 times, but that is incredible. If you just implemented 2 of the ones we've already discussed, you're already 4 times better off than the person who doesn't use any of them, which is insane. And then also thinking about that, the thing is that a 4 times increase in habit creation doesn't mean you're going to be 4 times better off than the person without any of those. It's actually exponentially better than the person who doesn't form habits, because when you think about habits, it actually goes into the future. So even though you only form habits 4 times better than another person, those habits have continued effects on your life. So you might be some 60 times better off than somebody else just from a 4 times better habit formation. That's why you need to actually implement these. It helps a ton. And so the next thing, as I was saying, was tracking and measurement. So you just want to basically just track every single day. You, like, for example, you're wanting to lose weight. Step on the scale every day. Or actually, scales are kind of bad for tracking weight loss. Just do the measurement band. Those are more accurate. So that will increase it by 2 times, which is excellent again. And then this one is massively underrated. Nobody does this one. You want to do identity-based habits. This one's really interesting. I love this one. You use it a ton. This is the one where you think of yourself as somebody who already has the habit down. And this actually increases habit formation by 3 times. So if I wanted to get consistent at making YouTube, for example, I would say, I'm the type of person who makes YouTube videos consistently. I am a professional YouTuber. Stuff like that. And you need to actually convince yourself of it. Don't be formulaic. Just, you gotta trick yourself, completely trick yourself, and that will help you actually pull through with it. It's actually interesting. In the Gospels, Jesus says, you are the light of this world. And I think that part of the outcome of that is people actually becoming better humans, because in Jesus saying you are the light of this world, even though people suck, we're able to have a new identity, literally, which helps us to fall through with actually doing good. So really interesting stuff. The next one is having a accountability device, like an accountability partner or something like that. This one increases by 65%, but I think you can actually hack it to be even more. And so basically, this is just when you get a partner, somebody to basically force you to follow through with stuff. And so if I said to my friend or something like that, you got to force me to work out every day or something like that. But you can actually hack this to be even more effective if you tie pain to not doing the habit. I think there was this one guy who lost 200 or 300 pounds by saying that every day he doesn't work out, he has to sign a check to his opposing sports team or something like that. And he got his wife and his doctor to actually hold him up on it. So you need to have exterior people enforcing you. And if you really want it to be effective, you tie some sort of pain that those people holding you accountable can actually inflict on you. There was also another guy who literally, he was like some writer dude. And basically he had his servant literally take off all of his clothes and bed sheets and stuff like that and just lock him in his room until he wrote 2,000 words or something like that. And it was like freezing and stuff like that. So that's an extreme version of it, but it works. So on to the next one. This one is tiny habits. So this one is starting small. This one increases habit formation by 50%. And so this is just another one where you're just you're reducing friction as much as possible. It's basically a variation on the one we already talked about, where you're reducing friction as much as possible. So this would just be doing as the minimum amount possible and doing it over and over and over again. That way you already have the neurons in place that you will do that action. And then it's not a matter of starting a new habit. You're just increasing a pre-existing habit, which helps a ton. So this, like I said, increases it by 50%. There was another guy who did the gym. I think this was in Atomic Habits. Basically, he went to the gym for like 5 minutes every day, didn't even work out, and then he did that for like a month or two or something like that, and then eventually he lost all the weight just because he ramped up from then. And then next one is having a reward for yourself. I honestly don't like this one, but it does increase it by 80%. Basically, just giving yourself a positive reward after you do something you don't like. This is the opposite of reducing friction. It's adding good. So removing friction is removing bad. This one is adding good. And so, I don't know, maybe if you're trying to quit social media or something like that, I guess, maybe you get ice cream or have like a scoop of ice cream every day you do that or something like that. I don't know. Don't support that though. Ice cream's bad for you. Shouldn't do it. Next one is to have habit tracking streaks. This one is super powerful and underrated. It's so used by companies against you to steal your time, but if you actually use it on yourself, it can help you. Like, for example, Snapchat and Duolingo, these are two companies that have used this to the max. Basically, Snapchat has it so that you have streaks where when you text people, you ramp up a streak every day that you do it. And so that there are these people who just text them every single day and it keeps them coming back to the app. And so it's stealing their time. But if you use the same psychology behind the system they use, then you can apply it to your life to track exercise or stuff like that. You can, I would suggest getting some sort of habit tracking software or something like that, and it will do this for you, like Notion. And so that will increase it by 2 to 5 times, which is 5 times insane. So definitely implement that. And then next one up is social support / norms. This increases your habit formation by 35%, which is a good amount. It's not too good, but still 40%, whatever helps. Basically, you just joining a community with shared goals, whether this be like, I don't know, some sort of runner's club if you're trying to get into running, stuff like that. And so that is most of the habits. I'm assuming my audience probably has a lot of autoimmune disease and health stuff. So for you guys specifically, what I would suggest is to actually get as healthy as possible, because healthy people are productive people. If you feel bad or your thyroid is sluggish, stuff like that, you are not going to be productive no matter how much you try. Even if you're not a lazy person, if you have adrenal fatigue, and if you want to know if you have adrenal fatigue, look into your eyes. Just like go into a mirror, look deep into your eyes, and if you see that the whites are this bluish gray color, you have adrenal fatigue, which means you should stop stressing, first of all, figure out any sort of stress in your environment or work, stuff like that, eliminate it, and then rebuild your adrenals by taking vitamin C, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. So get healthy, heal your thyroid, heal your adrenals. I'll make more videos on that in the future if you're interested. Can't go into too much detail here. But I hope that helps anyone trying to get more habit boosting. Subscribe if you want to. Bye-bye.